Picture this. It is 2 in the morning, your laptop is closed, and you are asleep. But somewhere in the cloud, an invisible sales rep is answering leads, qualifying them, booking calls on your calendar, and even sending follow-up emails in your brand voice. No dev team, no custom code, just a few visual workflows quietly minting revenue on repeat. Here is the twist. The person who owns those workflows is not a senior engineer. It is a solo operator with a browser, a credit card, and a tool called n8n. For years, code was the moat. If you could not write JavaScript, wire a database, and deploy to a cloud server, you watched from the sidelines while teams burned $50,000 just to ship a minimum product. That world is gone. No code platforms like n8n make, and Zapier let you drag, drop, and ship in an afternoon. But here's the part nobody expected. A single person can now replace what used to be a 5-person full stack team and sell that as a productized AI agency. So why should you care about another automation tool? Because n8n behaves like a programmable control room for the entire internet. Every node on its canvas speaks a different service. OpenAI, Notion, Google Sheets, Stripe, your CRM, your calendar. You are no longer begging a developer to wire an HTTP request. You are literally drawing the system as a flowchart. And here is the pattern break. The real skill is no longer learn Python. It is learn to orchestrate APIs. Zubair Trabzada leans into this shift with a blunt thesis. Leverage is the new code. In his AI workshop content, he shows how to stitch together n8n, large language models, and niche tools like Nano to clone revenue-generating apps without ever opening a traditional code editor. Think voice agents that call leads, user-generated content ad generators, appointment setters, all built as reusable workflows. In a minute, I will show you how one of those voice agents actually works, step by step. First, let us zoom into n8n itself. At a glance, it looks almost too simple. A blank canvas, a sidebar full of nodes, and a play button. But under that clean interface is a directed graph that can rival what a junior back-end developer would ship. Each node is a step, an HTTP request, a database write, an LLM call, a Slack message, wired together and triggered by webhooks, schedules, or incoming emails. Visual wiring turns logic into something you can literally see, which is why agencies love it for debugging client AI assistants. A basic AI workflow might be as simple as this. A webhook node catches a lead from a landing page, an OpenAI node drafts a personalized reply, and a Gmail node sends that email from your client domain. That alone replaces manual inbox grinding. But here is where the stakes jump. A real AI agent workflow chains multiple model calls, tools, and memory. It embeds customer data in a vector database, lets the model choose tools like send SMS or log CRM notes, and even evaluates its own output before anything goes out the door. Here is a detail most people miss. Self-hosting n8n turns it from a toy into an agency-grade platform. On a $5 to $10 per month virtual private server, you can run dozens of client workflows that would cost 10 times more on typical software as a service tools that bill per seat or per zap. Infrastructure is where early agencies quietly bleed out. When you own the server, your biggest cost becomes API usage, which you can meter, mark up, and package into retainers instead of drowning in subscriptions. But tools alone do not make a business. The mindset shift is this. Stop prompting. Start building systems. Asking ChatGPT for one answer and screenshotting it is like renting a billboard for a day. Building an n8n workflow is like buying the land underneath that billboard and charging rent. You move from disposable chats to durable assets that run 24/7, can be cloned, and can be sold to 10, 50, or 100 clients with almost zero extra work. In a moment, we will turn that idea into a concrete content repurposing product. Imagine a client who says, "Our blog gathers dust. No one has time for LinkedIn. We post twice a month and hope." You design a standardized workflow. A scheduled trigger checks their RSS feed every hour, pulls the latest post, strips the HTML, and feeds the text into an LLM with a structured prompt. Out comes 5 LinkedIn posts, 10 tweets, and 3 short video hooks. n8n then drops everything into a Google Sheet or a Notion database, or even straight into a scheduler like Buffer. That pipeline is no longer a clever hack. It is a product. You give every client the same clear input, an RSS feed, a Google Doc, a Notion page, or a URL. You promise a predictable output, a set number of posts, platforms, tone, and format delivered through a consistent method like a sheet, a CSV, or direct publish. Suddenly, you are not selling time or prompts. You are selling a system with a $500 setup and a $300 per month retainer. This changes who gets hired next. Now, let us build the killer app that makes small business owners lean forward. The AI agent that calls your leads for you. Cold outbound used to mean a room full of reps, messy scripts, and inconsistent notes. Today, a single voice agent can call hundreds of leads per day, follow the script perfectly, and never forget a follow-up. Under the hood, the stack is surprisingly lean. N8n orchestrates everything. A telephony AP like Twilio handles calls, and a conversational model like GPT-4 does the thinking. Here is how the workflow actually runs. A new lead hits a form, a CRM, or an ad funnel. N8n listens for that event, pulls the name, number, and context, and triggers an outbound call via the telephony node. Audio streams to speech to text. The transcript goes to the LLM along with the conversation history and strict business rules. The model replies with the next line plus metadata, like lead qualified yes or no, and next action book, demo, or exit. Text to speech turns that into audio in a few hundred milliseconds so the call feels natural, not robotic. Lead qualification becomes a deterministic flow wrapped in human-like language. The agent asks 3 to 5 key questions about budget, timeline, and decision power, then assigns a score from 0 to 100 based on your rules. High-intent leads get pushed straight to a human calendar through tools like Calendly, Google Calendar, or HubSpot meetings. When the model flags book meeting, N8n hits the calendar API, checks available slots, offers 2 or 3 times, and once the prospect agrees, fires confirmation emails, SMS reminders, and CRM updates automatically. For an AI agency, that one service can anchor an entire business. Every local clinic, real estate team, or marketing shop is leaking money on slow follow-up. Even a 10 to 20% lift in conversion can justify 4-figure monthly retainers. You are not selling an N8n workflow. You are selling more booked appointments and faster response times. And in a moment, we will zoom out and look at the economics that decide whether your no-code agency survives or quietly dies. Here is another powerful move: cloning successful AI apps without writing code. Founders study products like cal.ai, map the user journey, list the technical primitives, then rebuild 80% of the value with no code in a weekend. A typical stack is simple: a web form via Tally or Typeform, an N8n workflow as orchestrator, OpenAI or Gemini for reasoning, Google Calendar or cal.com for scheduling, and email or SMS for confirmations. You are not recreating the whole software company. You are shipping a focused workflow that solves one job extremely well.